Children of the night, what music they make.
They're all gonna laugh at you!
They're coming to get you, Barbara.
What's up?
I'm not gonna hurt you. I'm just gonna bash you with them.
And welcome to the Heatwave version of Final Guys, where we are all sweating our asses off by the end of the episode. I am Jason Brant. What's that?
I should turn my AC off.
I just turned mine off, and I'm already hot. I'm Jason Brant, joined as always by Monster Man Jack Campisi.
Yo, yo, yo.
The rising horror author, Tim Meyer. Whatever rising means.
Yeah. Nothing.
Yeah. You're blowing up, man. I'm seeing you everywhere.
Oh, stop it.
And the old haggard legend, the writer of Swamp Monster Massacre, Hunter Shea.
Thank you for bringing up a 10-year-old book. Very timely.
I haven't mentioned it in a couple weeks now, so I needed to get it in there.
It's always appreciated.
I like to pop on Murder, She Wrote and then open up Swamp Monster Massacre.
It's a classic story.
It's a great story. I love that story.
Legitimately, that was the first thing I read of yours. I think I just found you guys on Monster Man or something. And at the beginning, when the dude's skull breaks and you were like, oh, I did too much coke. It's like, that is really good. I'll never forget that.
By the way, that book got me a 9-book deal with Pinnacle, so I cannot complain.
I love the title, man. It's the best ever.
It's a great book. It's got there's so many great things in that book. Madalena.
By the way, this is for Sheridan Bradford. Here is my Corona hard seltzer.
Oh, you did get it.
Fucking schmuck.
Well, this week we're talking... Good.
What flavor?
Blackberry lime, which is unbelievable.
What flavor? There are flavors?
Mango, cherry, and lime. And then blackberry lime, which is up several notches.
So this week we're talking Relic, a new 2020 movie. And before we get to it, as always, we have drinking words. So you can take a big slug of disgusting cider or seltzer or whatever the hell you have.
Seltzer.
And,
all right, here we go. I'll give the words.
There we go.
The word. All right. If Jack says the words aging, hereditary, or corpse, which Jack is an aging hereditary corpse, you must drink. I say Alzheimer's dream or bed. Drink. By the way, you can buy the Alzheimer's dream bed at Sleepy's. Jason, if you say Ghoulies, performance, or mold, and nothing about him is not moldy, drink. And we have no words for Tim, so we'll make Tim's words dementia, house, and actress.
I like it.
Describes his wife.
I may have forgot to tell Sheridan Tim would be in.
By the way, before we get into this, can I just say 2 things?
Do it.
I want to give a shout out to my man, Tom Toohey. He's in a short movie called Hoodie. Let me tell you, when they shot this movie, I know they shot it before, the whole world went to shit and things went crazy, but this is a pretty cool, it's like 11, 12-minute movie. It's about just 2 dudes on neighborhood watch, and one dude is like a right-wing racist asshole who just thinks
named Hunter
sees, maybe. Who thinks everyone he sees on the hanging out at night wearing a hoodie is a criminal and stuff. And
named
my
Hunter.
Man, Tom is the rational guy, and then it's not what they think is hanging out outside in the middle of the night. So it's a cool movie. I dug it. If you can check it out, Hoodie. And also my book Ghost Mines, for the 7 of you who like horror westerns, Ghost Mine with Flame Tree Press is on sale for 99 cents ebook until July 19th. So go out and get some.
I can confirm horror westerns are just the worst idea to write. Don't do it.
If you're looking to make a lot of money, definitely don't do it.
I've always wanted to write one.
Don't do it.
Don't do it.
I will kick you in the teeth if you try.
Oh, you might as well just take all the money you have and just burn it.
Damn.
Yeah, it's kind of weird.
Now I'm
just
going to do it
can't.
anyway, just because you guys told me not to. That's how I operate, though.
I think
Somebody
me and
tells
Jonathan Jans, who wrote ones at the same time, will both hold you down and stop.
Aw.
He
And
wrote a
Eric
good
Red.
one too. That just people just don't like.
Ghost
him.
Mine has got the typical Hunter Shea third act. He friggin' throws everything in the friggin' world into that mine. My God.
It starts out like a Spencer for Hire with two dudes at the turn of the century, and then it goes weird. It got weird. Have a hot pocket.
I don't know that I've read that one.
Do yourself a favor. Don't. No, I'm just kidding.
I'll send it over to you.
Wasn't it called like Hellhole or something?
Yes,
previously?
Hellhole was the original name, which I
Yeah.
said that's a Spinal Tap song. I don't
Better
like that
in a
name.
hellhole.
Oh God
Every
damn it!
time.
I own a copy of Hellhole, and I just bought Ghost Mine on Amazon.
Just ruined it for you.
Yes, sucker.
Son of a bitch! Double dipping.
Well, it's only 99 cents.
This hoodie short film, is this on YouTube? I'm seeing one.
I don't know if it's on YouTube. Tom sent me a copy, so I'm not so sure. It's making the rounds on the the festival circuit. However you do that nowadays. But the production company's Key 13 Film Partners.
That does
If that
not
helps
appear to be
you all
this.
find it, because there are several hoodie things out there.
Well, the one I just found is an experimental
But
film.
it's very
shot
timely.
with no script. So, yeah. Hello?
No, I don't
Hello?
think that was.
Oh,
this.
okay. Everybody got really quiet at that brilliant concept.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Unfortunately.
Okay. So, any news
I see you,
here,
Jack.
Jack?
First news is Spinal Tap has released a new song called Ghost Mine.
You're living in a ghost
Ghost
mine.
First of all, for Jason Brant, Joe Bob has announced season 3 will happen. But
So
Darcy's
excited.
going to have to be 6 feet away from Joe Bob.
No.
And then he's also going to do a special in August. I don't know exactly when or what it's called, but that came in right under the wire. So, yay!
Yeah, we'll be watching it together.
Unfortunately, it'll take a goddamn year for them to release the season because they only do like 9 episodes and it takes them a freaking year.
Yeah.
How much editing even goes into the show? It's a dude sitting in a chair.
It doesn't look like much.
Not much.
The good thing is with social distancing, if Darcy goes from nipple to mouth, that's 6 feet. So she's pretty good if she stands by him.
If they're trying to push up content, they can always knock like the first 10 minutes of those off too, like where he's just rambling about something else.
Hey,
No.
you stop that.
Yeah.
That's the funniest shit.
Blasphemy.
Okay. There's a lot of news under this one umbrella. Ready?
Yeah.
You three read a lot of books. You all love Stephen King. So here we go. Who watched The Outsider here?
I don't have
Tim?
HBO.
I
Yep.
did. Jason, did you finish it?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Season 2 of The Outsider is going to be based on the novella If It Bleeds, which I guess there's a short story within there called If It Bleeds.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to be based on that. Holly Gibney.
Yep.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, she's a recurring character.
Yeah.
I didn't read that.
It's pretty good. I enjoyed it.
Is that the one that just came out?
Yes.
Okay, yeah. That's next on my list, actually.
I believe, I'm pretty sure all of the novellas in that collection were just optioned.
Tim, why don't you just do the news tonight?
Oh,
Why don't you
shit.
step all
Sorry,
over?
I'm sorry,
What
guy.
else you got? What else?
Show's over.
Hey, Joe Bob got anything going on there?
Jesus Christ.
You just went full northeast.
Who are
God
those British
damn.
guys who
Going
do
on
a
there?
better job than us? What's their name?
I
Jason?
got to read about the goddamn dog dedication.
God damn it.
Oh.
Write it down. I'll do it live. Tim, you're right.
It's ponderous,
psychic.
man. It's fucking
I was
ponderous.
setting you up. I knew you were going there, and I was just trying to like set you up a little bit. That
I'm
was
going to
it.
spike it, baby.
Yeah.
Thanks for setting. I'm going to spike it. Yes. That's the big reveal. All of the short stories in this book have been optioned. So Blumhouse, on the studio behind such powerhouses as Fantasy Island and You Should Have Left, are teaming with Netflix and Ryan Murphy to do Mr. Harrigan's Phone.
Hmm.
What's
Yeah.
that about? What's Mr. Harrigan's phone about?
It's actually like coming of age. It's about a boy who spends some time with this older gentleman doing like chores for him during like a summer, and kind of teaches him how to use this phone, and the phone kind of like haunts him in some way. I don't want to give away too much of it, but it's actually my favorite story in the collection, so I'm kind of excited about that.
Hey there, Busty Arms.
So
Da, 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 da.
Stephen King, Blumhouse, Ryan Murphy, and Netflix. That's like some serious powerhouse.
That's a lot
Yeah.
going on there, man.
So it'll
How could
probably
you
Sounds
top
amazing.
that?
In the
I'll
tall
give
grass
you-
too.
I'll give you 2 words on how you top that, my friends.
Yes.
And those 2 words are Ben Stiller. That's how you top it. Ben Stiller.
Oh yeah.
Short man, big resume.
Mm,
Captain Furious or whatever, Mr. Furious from the Mystery Men.
Mystery Men, yeah.
yes, his best film.
I love that movie. He who smelt it, dealt
That
it.
movie sucks.
That movie's
What's the-
great. You know what?
is he-
Joe Bob sucks. Mystery Man is great. I will fight you.
Well, that's the end of the show.
Let's go.
Jason,
Where'd he go? Jason's
Surprised-
kidding.
Surprised I didn't knock you out.
He
Part of
checked
the
out his
show,
own
it's a work.
podcast.
Say that about Joe Bob, man. That's not right.
He just leaves.
He just kicked the dog. Didn't want anyone to see.
Okay, so what? Regardless of what you thought of Mystery Men, or what was the friggin' remake he did? Where
I think
the
it was
Jimmy
called The
Stewart
Gizmo Show.
movie,
Which
the what
one?
movie?
the Jimmy Stewart movie he remade with the guy with the imagination.
Walter Mitty.
Walter Mitty.
Oh, yeah.
Ooh,
You can knock that movie all you want.
thanks.
Ben Stiller's going to do one about a rat. What the hell's it called?
I think it's just called Rat.
Rat.
It's called Rat.
Yeah.
Where I guess he makes friends with a rat who grants wishes or something. I don't know.
Yeah, it's kind of like a
Monkey's paw kind of
monkey's
thing?
paw, but with a rat, and a writer goes to a like a cottage in Maine to write his new novel, and meets this rat who can talk to him. So pretty
That
weird
sounds
story. It's
so
definitely
original.
the weirdest story in there. It's not bad. I didn't like it at first, but it got better as it went along. It'll be interesting to see how they adapt that. But isn't Stiller starring, directing, and writing it? I think I heard.
His writing chops are unparalleled.
Probably.
Oh, I didn't know if you had that piece of news. I didn't know
Tim,
if
you were just showing him up, man.
I didn't know
I,
if you investigated it that far. I didn't know how good your investigation skills
I don't know
were.
who Stephen fucking King is. I hear
He's
he's
op-
good.
He's optioned it, man. He's optioned.
All right. I think he's writing, directing, and starring in it. That's what I heard.
So what's the 4th story in that then,
Tim,
Mr.
shut up.
Frickin'
What is the fourth
Smarty
story
Pants?
in that collection?
Is it the life of Chuck?
Yes, that's the worst story out of all of them. I didn't like it.
It's going to be the one that Jason's the most happy about because Darren Aronofsky
Hmm. That is
has optioned it.
that is such a Darren Aronofsky like project.
We're going to
short
dig
story.
that, Jason.
I'm in.
Yeah, we're on that one.
It's
So,
so
that
weird.
one's going to have the whole Mother, Black Swan, my shit don't stink kind of feel to
I
it.
hope so.
You'll
Honestly,
feel like an idiot when the movie ends because you
honestly,
don't
if
understand it.
anyone could adapt that story, it would probably be him. So I'm actually glad that he's doing it.
If he puts Mila Kunis and Natalie Portman and Jennifer, what's her name, in it, I'm in.
Giggity.
Gaggity.
Fried seafood.
Yeah.
And fried seafood.
Yeah, that was it. I can't
Amanda
think of her.
Seyfried, fried seafood.
All right, that's actually some pretty damn good news.
Yeah.
Boom. Thanks for the assist there, pal.
You got it, buddy.
Way to score it.
All right, let's jump into what we watched.
We have such sights to show you.
Tim,
Yo,
what do you got?
what do I got? I'll start off with the best thing I watched last week. I'm just gonna briefly say that the Beach House on Shudder was pretty amazing, and you guys should all watch it. Cosmic horror, body horror. It's very color out of space, but I don't know. I really enjoyed it. I think it might even be better than Color Out of Space.
Wow.
Yeah,
I wouldn't
don't
even
know.
call that was this kind of movie.
No,
Just
You wouldn't.
little bit I
Looking
saw.
at it, you wouldn't know that.
I thought Color Out of Space as soon as I saw the trailer.
Yeah,
It had some
it's-
trippy stuff going.
Yeah, it has a lot of trippy stuff, and it makes me want to just eat edibles all day long. So
All righty.
And watch cats.
And watch Cats.
And watch Cats. Where's their assholes?
But I'm not going to say too much on it because I think the less you know going into it is better. Because like I didn't know anything about it going into it, and I was kind of pleasantly surprised. So
we were circling that for our next week's movie. So you think that would be a good main feature?
I think it would be an amazing feature.
Done.
Easy. We actually know what we're going to watch significantly ahead of time for everyone who bitches at us online.
Amazing.
So there you go. The Beach House next week. Hunter, what do you got?
Well, I went the other end of the spectrum. So as I was tooling around Amazon Prime, I came across a movie called Bog. Now, first I'm thinking, oh, is this about, you throw people in the bog and, their bodies come up but no, this is for the sea creature completist like myself. It's a 1979 movie. It's shot on film that was dragged through the mud and maybe blown up and set on fire. At least the print that they had was terrible. It starts out with some dude dynamite fishing in like the swamp. I'm like, all right, I'm down with this. And his dynamite fishing has awakened this Gillman type creature that is just going to murder everybody who comes into the swamp. Jack, you're old enough to appreciate it stars Gloria DeHaven and Aldo Ray. Like
Aldo Ray, Jesus.
The average age in this cast is 68. I mean, everybody is older in this thing. And if they're not older, they look like they're just young and they look like locals, like a Boggy Creek kind of thing.
I'm trying to figure out who the hell Aldo Ray is.
I know that name.
Aldo.
Aldo Nova?
Aldo Ray was a big swinging dick way back in the day, but even this movie in 79, he was well past his prime. It is...
Oh, this guy. Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
He looks like Brian Dennehy.
It's boring at times, shocking. It's terribly made, but I enjoyed just about every minute of it.
It's on Prime?
It's on Prime, so
that's what Prime's all about.
It was like a Saturday. I'm like, oh, it's hot. I'm just going to get upstairs and lay down in the air conditioning and maybe go to sleep. And it kept me up. So it didn't put me to sleep. So, hey.
All right. So it was a kind of Boggy Creek ripoff?
No, it was like a creature from the Black Lagoon in the swamp. And the creature itself is fucking hysterical. It is so bad. It's amazing.
So it's color, 1979?
It's color. Kind of scratchy color.
Have you ever turned on a movie with the intention of, I just want something on so I can fall asleep to it, and then it's good, and then you're pissed off that the movie's good because you wanted to fall asleep?
Then you're up and you're wide awake and you're going, oh, crap.
God damn.
Yeah, then I just watched Final Guys and I go right to bed.
Jack, what gem do you have?
Oh, got good stuff. First of all, a couple weeks ago, I talked about Christopher Lee satanic movie. What the hell was that called? The Devil a Daughter.
The Devil a Daughter.
So that was the end of the Hammer run, and that was not a great movie. So I went and sought out another Hammer movie that I had been trying to find, and it's really hard to find. It's like out of print, but I found a friend of mine who had it. The Devil Rides Out from 1968.
Oh my God.
So yes, got my hands on it. So this one is considered one of the best Hammer movies. I had never seen it. I've known about it. I have pictures and books of it, but I've never seen it. And I know that because this was one of those ones that I'm like, I'm going to watch this and be like, oh, I saw like the end of this one once when I was 12 or something. I had no recollection of it, but it's got Christopher Lee, who's the good guy in this. And then Charles Gray is the bad guy. He's the leader of this satanic cult. Charles Gray played Blofeld in one of the James Bond movies. So you have got the Man with the Golden Gun with Christopher Lee and Blofeld, Charles Gray. So it's about this satanic cult and Christopher Lee and this other. Hammer movies are hilarious because all the protagonists are like men in like 3-piece suits and ties and stuff. And everywhere they run, they're just always so well dressed. And inevitably they have to guard a woman overnight and they always fall asleep. And the bad guys always get it happens in all the Dracula movies. And it happens in this movie too, because the satanic cult is trying to indoctrinate this guy that they're friends with, that they go to visit at this like astronomy building And they think they've come to a party. I can't remember what the hell you call it.
Fuck it. I love it. I love
A
it.
planetarium?
Is that with the big telescope?
I don't know.
We're so educated here.
The planetarium got the telescope, or is the planetarium where we just got a screen on the top?
Planetarium is like a giant movie theater with like. You have to
So this had
project-
the actual telescope. So
I had lunch at a pizza castle.
there you go. So they think it's just a party, but then they're like, no, we're doing some astronomy thing or something. But it turns out it's a satanic ritual. So they're telling their friends to get lost, but they discovered that there's satanic stuff going on. And so Christopher Lee are trying to save their friend and this other woman from this cult. Now, Charles Gray, the leader of the cult, has these dreamy, like blue or silvery eyes, and he can hypnotize people just by looking at them. So it's very Dracula-like. And there were some people that were like, "Don't look at his eyes," and somebody would look at his eyes. There's they had a low budget on this, but if you're looking to just have fun with an old movie, there's this awesome scene where they're in this protective circle, and the demon forces are going to attack them at night. And so things are happening all around them. Christopher Lee is doing his best Peter Cushing because he's now the good guy. He's like, "Don't cross the circle. Don't look at their eyes." Like, when he's a good guy, he seems sinister. There's this one scene where suddenly this like spot on the ground outside the circle starts to smoke, and this spider appears, this tarantula, and so it's superimposed. So there's scenes where clearly. Superimposed spider is like going up on its legs, and they're like in the circle, like Then they would just show like a regular spider with like a circle drawn on the ground, so you just see the outside of the circle and the spider just like walking, and then back out to the wide shot with the superimposed spider. It's so great. It was a lot of fun.
That sounds perfectly terribly awful.
It's a blast. It's good. It was a lot of fun. It's a lot more fun than the other one that I saw. So I was really happy. I've been trying to track this sucker down for a long time.
You can't go to jail for watching this one.
Yes, and there was no guilt afterwards. So,
what was the name of it again?
The Devil Rides Out, 1968.
Yeah,
nice. And that was on. Oh no, your buddy had it. That's right.
Oh, yeah. Good luck finding this without buying it for a lot of money.
All right, so I've got good news before I jump into the bad news. I decided to watch Ghoulies last week.
Yes.
In the lead up to doing the Amityville series. But the Amityville series is like 16 movies or whatever. But when I looked it up, it's actually not. Apparently, all these movies are not actually Amityville horror movies. There's only one in the entire series. The rest of them are not related. They can't be. But the name Amityville cannot be trademarked because it's a town. So all these other ones just slap the name on it, and they're unrelated.
I say you have to watch them all.
First, kiss my ass. I don't know how I'm going to handle it yet, but it's given me a bit of a loophole.
Watch the trailer for Amityville Shark, and you're going to jump off a bridge.
Jesus.
Amityville Shark. See, that wasn't even on the list I saw. Amityville Shark. Jesus Christ. So I may not be doing that next, just because it's not really a series, but we'll see. But I did start the Ghoulies. I had thought I had seen this maybe in high school. It turns out I definitely had not. I did not remember any of this, and there's a reason. This is terrible. Like, I could not believe how bad this movie has 3 sequels, and it if this isn't the worst one in the series, I'm going to be shocked because it's boring. The Ghoulies are almost not in it at all. There's these 2 hench people. It's like a man and a woman who are in it more than the Ghoulies. Michael DeBar is in it for 10 minutes max.
Crazy charmed villain.
Man, is he chewing up the scenery though. When he's in it, it's freaking hysterical because he's doing this weird shit with his hands where he like keeps crossing it over his chest while he's speaking. He just keeps like this animated weird shit.
He's trying to be Ronnie James Dio in Rainbow in the Dark.
Oh my God. That's his whole performance. He's a magician who dies. Not a magician, a wizard. I don't know. And leaves a castle to his son, who goes in and is instantly possessed or some shit. The story makes no sense. He starts conjuring shit with he's holding a trident that clearly is cardboard or something that has been spray painted silver. and every time he's doing these seances or whatever, his eyes turn green, but the pupils are like in different directions.
Yes.
So every time
He's
you're
like
looking at him,
Columbo.
yeah, it's supposed to be sinister, and you're like, is he looking at me? I can't tell. It
Are
it
you
is
conjuring me?
bad. It's PG-13 too, so
Yeah,
like, I was blown away at how bad this was.
I think it was geared towards like the kids who couldn't see Gremlins.
It was definitely geared towards trying to rip off Gremlins. That is for sure.
Oh, totally.
The problem is there are no ghoulies in the goddamn movie. They're in it
What?
for 5 minutes.
The Ghoulies, and then wasn't there the Munchies?
Yeah, I mentioned the Munchies last week.
Yeah.
I remember that one. I don't remember Ghoulies at all.
Don't.
Ghoulies
they're
doubled down on the, like I said, they took a water bottle and sprayed all the puppets so they were glistening
Moist.
to add that moistness.
Boys,
Yeah.
They had to because my wife is squirming downstairs.
Tim said it first.
I did.
The,
I forgot that was a trigger word.
I'm glad you said that. The puppets were so bad. I mean, just the shittiest quality. Man, this was rough. I was surprised. I had trouble paying attention to this movie.
You got to check your phone during this movie. You kidding me?
I really tried to focus, but I was like, God damn, man, there's nothing going on here.
How about the dude with the sunglasses and the party hair?
There was the ambiguously gay duo.
That was the greatest cartoon ever made.
Ace and Gary.
So anyway, if you're following me on this terrible journey I'm on to hell, you may want to just take a detour around the series. I've only watched 2 of them so far.
So Hunter, I watched this last week and lit a fire under him to do it. So
it's borderline so bad
You're
it's
no
good,
friend.
but there's not enough interesting stuff that happens that I
No,
can like,
it's
label.
so bad it's bad.
I only saw the first one. It never.
It's just bad.
Yeah, me either. That's
I'm telling you though, you get a lot of bang for your buck for just over the top satanic ritual guys with green eyes.
Oh, that's all the movie is. Green eyes.
Because you go in expecting little puppets, and you leave going, "Why was that called Ghoulies and not just like hair metal demon masters or something?"
Exactly. There are no ghoulies. Tim, please help.
All right. How do I follow that up? I watched Scary Movies to Tell in the Dark. It was on
Scary Movies.
Or Scary Stories. I'm sorry.
Okay, I put Scary Stories in the show notes because there's no way it's Scary Movies.
I was reading off what I wrote in our
scary movie
in our thing, and I'm just stupid. So it was on Showtime. So I was like, why not? I remember the books from when I was a kid, so I felt like I needed to watch it. And I think Guillermo del Toro produced it or had something to do with it. It felt very del Toro-ish. But the movie itself wasn't that great. A little underwhelming. But I also enjoyed it. There was aspects of it that I really enjoyed, like the special effects. A lot of the creature designs were really
The creatures were cool.
What's the dude who bends himself all around?
Yeah.
That was cool.
Yeah, that was cool. And like the lady at the end that absorbs the kid. Spoiler alert. Yeah, I don't know. I enjoyed stuff like that, but the story itself was kind of like, I don't know. It felt like shoehorned. I felt like they tried to like completely rip off the Goosebumps movies, which I actually enjoyed, like the Goosebumps movies, even though they're a little silly and ridiculous. But
I don't think they could figure out their target audience, and so it was just a mess.
It was kind of all over the place. It was like for kids, but also not for kids, but also not for adults. Like it was just very inconsistent throughout the entire movie.
Yep.
See, when you do that, you end up making a movie that's for no one.
Yeah, exactly.
And I went to the movie theater the day it came out to a matinee and took my kids and my mother. So there were 3 generations who all walked out like, popcorn was good.
Yeah, underwhelming, definitely. But I don't know. I also wasn't mad that I watched it. Like I still feel like I got something out of it. So, but
I'm mad you watched it.
Yeah, we covered it, and I think we were all like,
yeah,
exactly.
But also, like, I don't know. Not
The
mad.
spider scene was a little underwhelming. I was expecting more out of that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
What-
I actually like that scene. I thought that was pretty cool when they're all coming out of her face. I thought they got a little bit more graphic also than I was expecting for like a PG-13 movie.
It's that guy who would fall to pieces and come back together.
That guy
again.
was cool.
That guy was great.
Yeah, he was
Yeah.
awesome.
Wasn't it also in Vietnam era for no reason?
Yes.
Something like that.
Yes,
I think
it was.
just for the racism thing.
Yeah. Whatever. Hunter.
Weird. All right. I watched a documentary. I watched a lot of documentaries, but I'm not going to talk about all of them because they're not worth it. But you guys ever see VHS Massacre?
Mm-mm.
Yes. Joe Bob's in that, isn't he?
This is why the only reason I brought it up because Joe Bob is in it, looking like there might be like somebody with a gun to his head off camera. He's very low key. He's not Joe Bob, he's himself in this, so he's very uninteresting. He really doesn't have much to say.
He's low key. He's low key in person.
He's basically kidnapped by these like podcasters in like Staten Island they're talking about like the decline of physical media, and like they're visiting. You get to see like as they're visiting these VHS stores and watching them close and stuff like. And they're one of their goals, their ultimate goal, is to buy like the stupidest VHS they can find, and then watch it all together, and then see who wins and brought the stupidest video. But it's kind of cool because Joe Bob's there and they're interviewing him and stuff. I really want to see the movie that won. It was like some like Uncle Ben in the garden with the kids or something so friggin' weird and disturbing. And I kind of like the idea of like trying to find stores that sell videotapes and getting what you can while you still couldn't. I kind of wish I did that too. Because I remember watching all the video stores fall apart around me, and I was just like, yeah, I'll pick up a couple of DVDs. But I kind of wish I picked up some of those VHS because you lose that box art, So it would have been cool. But it's a fine movie. It's distributed by Troma, so it's of the highest possible quality.
Quality entertainment.
Yeah,
A budget of dozens of dollars.
It's at least dozens of dollars.
At least $36.
But
Dozens of dollars.
There was sympathy with watching like a bunch of podcasters want to like pour their passion into some movie that they made. So that was kind of cool.
Yeah, I remember thinking the same thing. Yeah, it was all right.
I wish it was. I was expecting better, but I didn't care at that point. I'm like, it's podcasters. Oh, none of us know what we're doing. It's fine.
Yeah, that's what people say every time they listen to us. Boy, I wish that was better. It was fine.
Yeah, I could do a podcast if they can.
Which is true.
That's literally what has been said to us.
Yeah, no joke.
Jack, what do you got?
Okay.
Oh boy.
This movie, I don't know what the Rotten Tomatoes score is on it, but it's like 12 or something like that. Has anybody here read the book by Stephen King's Cell?
Yep.
Oh yeah,
Love it.
Watch the
John
movie.
Cusack movie.
Have any of you guys seen this?
I watched half of it and threw up and then went to sleep.
I like the book.
I love the
So-
book. The book is amazing.
I did not love the book. I read the book and I remember liking the first half and then feeling like it got convoluted and weird and it ended poorly. But so my memory was like, yeah, I remember like it being pretty cool, and then I was losing interest as it went, and I don't even remember how it ended. This movie was very similar to reading the book in that there are poor special effects in this movie. It first of all reunites the 1404 duo of John Cusack and Samuel L. Jackson.
Right.
And it's also got the girl from Orphan, Isabel Furman.
Oh really?
Yeah.
I don't remember that.
So this is he's at an airport and he's calling his wife and kid, and then this pulse goes off and triggers this thing where people who were on their cell phones when it happened go crazy and start killing each other. They're kind of like 28 days later kind of zombies. And he was on a landline, so he didn't get affected, and I think it got disconnected anyway. So he decides he has to go north from Boston to like New Hampshire or Maine or something to find his son. So I used to live up in the North Shore of Massachusetts. So in the book, part of what I loved about the book was he goes up Route 1 right past where I used to live. So he's like, oh, we're in Malden now and this and that. So I knew like there was places like, oh yeah, I used to get Chinese food right there and stuff. So this movie, The special effects are not great. Just the opening credits. There's these weird black boxes, like where the names appear in, that go over things that are going on the screen. So, like this, think of John Cusack, Samuel L. Jackson. Like it's annoying then. So the thing breaks out, and then you're kind of watching it, going, "Well, this isn't so bad, whatever." But the further it gets in, like the dumber it gets, and the special effects sometimes look like they weren't finished, or they were kind of Sci-Fi Channel. And then I guess they changed the ending from the book, because I went and like looked up the difference, but the ending is laughable. Like it's
it's at the radio tower, right?
They go to a radio tower, and there's kind of like there's almost like 3 endings to it. John,
I'm sure they'll remake it again. Maybe Flanagan will get it 5 years down the line.
The best part of this movie, though, is there's a scene which I remembered from the book, where at night all the zombies go to sleep in this stadium. Stacy Keach.
I remember that.
Stacy Keach is in this movie. He's like the head of this private school near
Love Stacy's Keach.
Nice.
Love him.
Stacy's Keach.
While these zombies are sleeping, and they're all cell phone pulsed or whatever, like their mouths are open and there's a signal coming, almost like Gilligan's Island, where you could hear the radio through Gilligan's mouth.
Skipper.
The song that is coming out through all of the zombies' mouth is one of my favorite songs of all time. The Tra-la-la guy. La 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 la.
That's one of your favorite songs of all time.
Oh, it's the greatest song. The tra-la-la guy. La 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 la. Okay, maybe I'm exaggerating on that, but you know what I mean.
I do. I'm worried. Concerns.
If you don't like that guy, then it just confirms
I didn't say I don't like
the
that
bitterness
guy.
in your
Put him
heart.
in my top pantheon.
If you don't love that song, I'm going to come down there, hunt you down.
The morning's here. The morning's here.
It was just so great because, like, you hear it, and suddenly you're like, "Wait a minute, are they playing that?" Like, it was just that's the best part of the movie.
Wow.
So I'm glad I checked this one off, because I've been so curious. And when you see something as 12 on Rotten Tomatoes, you almost have to see it.
No, I disagree.
I saw it once. I remember the end being like,
Oh, the ending is so dumb.
yeah, it's not great. So instead of spending my time trying to get a peek at apparently Stacy's Keach, I watched.
That's all Stacy's Keach. Had a cleft Keach.
Oh God,
Jesus!
I watched Ghoulies 2.
You should have seen Jason's Keach.
Would have been more entertaining. The Ghoulies are rampaging through a circus. That's the movie.
Are any of the are any of the characters in the first one and the second one?
No, just the Ghoulies. They're better puppets.
Better puppets though. So there's an improvement in the puppetry.
Yeah, it's got better. It looks better. Like there's more money in it. Obviously, I think Ghoulies did pretty well for them, and that's it. That's the movie. It's not good. Don't watch it. I mean,
is it 2 hours long?
No, fortunately, these are all short. The first one's only like an hour and 17 or something.
Oh, jeez.
But man, I don't know. I'd love to see the scripts of these sometime, because the stories don't make any sense. And they're trying to kill the Ghoulies, and they're shooting them, and they're like, we tried fire, we tried stabbing them, we tried shooting them, nothing's working. And then at the end, they blow one up, and it works. And I was like, okay, this is
no special secret to killing a Ghoulie.
It's better than the first, because the Ghoulies are in it a lot more, and so it's a better made movie than the first. But I don't know that it's more entertaining, because you don't have Michael DeBar doing stupid shit, and you don't have the cardboard trident and stuff. So it depends on the mood you're in. But
are there any satanic priests in it?
No,
there is no. So nobody makes it rain inside.
No, there is a drunk guy who tries to control them with some kind of spell, and it doesn't work.
Spirit fingers?
No.
The only prescription was more Ghoulies.
Yep.
Guess what? I got a fever.
Oh God.
Anyway,
God bless you, Jason Brant.
Tim.
Bless
you
you,
do.
sir. I'll do my last two real quick because one of them isn't really a pick. It's more of just like a comment. But I watched Unsolved Mysteries, and I fucking hate Unsolved Mysteries.
What?
Like, yeah, I don't know. I don't like it because
One from the 80s?
I like solved mysteries.
No, they rebooted it, and it's on Netflix now.
Right. But you're saying you don't like the original, or you just
I don't like
the new one?
any of them. I don't like the concept. Like, I want resolution.
Good for
solved
you.
mysteries.
And the whole point of it
Solved
is that they're unsolved. Yeah, I need it to be solved. Otherwise, it's just like what
Anybody
the
can
fuck
do unsolved mysteries. There's tons
Right.
of, I want
Well,
to solve it.
I need resolution, and there's
Okay.
none.
The name says unsolved.
So that's my rant about unsolved mysteries. I also read a book by.
By the way-
wait. On unsolved mysteries.
Tim, so you know.
Good. Hunter, go ahead.
No, I was going to say, Tim, on Finding Bigfoot, they never find Bigfoot.
I know,
So
which
in
is
case you're going to
bullshit.
dive into that.
It's false. It's false advertising.
And on Dinner Impossible, they always pull off the dinner.
Every time.
And then movie Unstoppable, actually stoppable. So I watched two unsolved mysteries so far.
Mhm.
One was with an adult person
I watched
who
one.
I convinced to watch. I was like, hey, like we have nothing in common, but let's watch this.
Mhm.
And it was the one about like a hair salon or something, and it was very slow. So I need to go back and watch it again because it wasn't holding the attention of the person I was with.
Hmm.
And then another one I popped on because I'm not watching them in order
Yeah.
was like all in French.
Oh,
That's-
Like the
Jesus.
people were
Weird.
talking French. So I was like, what the hell's going on? So
I just watched the first one about the guy who fell off the top of the building, and
I didn't see that one.
It was actually, the mystery itself wasn't bad, but like at the end they were just like, we don't know what happened.
It's unsolved.
I watched the UFO
Fuck.
one.
Just want
I
to
was like,
fucking,
I
just
know
want
this
to know.
How is it without Robert Stack?
It's weird. There's like,
Yeah,
it-
it's not the same.
It's really not
it's definitely
unsolved
not the
mysteries.
same at all. Like there's no, I don't even think there's
Unhosted
like,
mysteries.
You
I don't even
glimpse
think
him in
there-
the credits.
yeah, there is no host. It's really strange. It's just like watching a documentary on like the ID channel or whatever, that Investigation Discovery. Yeah. Yeah, it's just like watching any documentary on there. So whatever. Fuck
They
that
still
show.
do the
Good for
theme
you.
song.
Yeah, the songs in there, the music and everything.
La la la
Well,
la.
it sounds like-
la, la, la.
If you like Unsolved Mysteries, you're gonna like it.
Yeah, but if you like solved mysteries, you're gonna fucking hate it.
Yeah. Typically, when I watch a show called Unsolved Mysteries, I'm anticipating.
I guess you know what you're in for. It's not like they're false advertising or anything, but it just still pisses me off.
I think you need to cut him a little break here because he knows the name is Unsolved Mysteries, but he's saying that format is leaving him hungry
unsatisfied.
for more. So
Yeah,
he's saying no more watching. He's not going to finish the run.
I need
But if
satisfaction.
Netflix comes out with solved mysteries, he'd probably give it a shot.
I'm fucking in. I'm there.
He's all in.
I do the same thing. I watch Disney movies and I'm like, why is this shit animated? I don't like animated shit. This doesn't make any sense.
And then you get Aladdin with Will Smith, and then you're like, give me the animated shit again.
Please, I want animated. Give me Gilbert
I
Gottfried.
have not watched that yet. I've heard good things.
Good things, really?
No, I'm kidding. I haven't heard
Oh.
a single good thing.
All right. So my real pick, because that was a fake pick, my real pick is Eden by Tim Levin. Huge Tim Levin fan. I know, Hunter, you're a big Tim Levin fan as well.
Yep.
This book is very interesting. It's basically set in the near future where the world is kind of fucked, kind of like we are now
I have
environmentally.
to say, what's the difference?
It's in the immediate future.
Well, at the time I started reading it, we weren't as fucked as we are now. But environmentally, we're kind of screwed. So what the governments have all gotten together and have designated spots in the world where they let nature kind of run its course and have it uninhabited by mankind. And so, like, people are not allowed in these areas. And I guess the whole reasoning behind it is to, because we're basically fucking shit up. So they just let these areas kind of run wild with nature. And so there's like these groups of people who kind of go to these areas and explore it as like a thrill-seeking kind of expeditions. And basically the main character is part of one of these groups, and her mother goes missing. So her and her group kind of go into this area called Eden. and try to find her. And there's just like crazy shit that happens in it. Like there's these creatures that have kind of like organically evolved, and the plant life is like coming to life, and it's a pretty wild book. I actually enjoyed it. It's a little bit slow in parts. That's like my only complaint about it. But if you've read any Tim Levin books, you're gonna enjoy it. It's pretty amazing, and I hope it gets made into a big budget like blockbuster movie, because I think it would be perfect for the screen.
Oh, awesome!
I've never actually read him. Sounds like I need to.
Yeah, he's great. I love his stuff. He's had a few adaptations from his stuff. One was on Netflix recently called The Silence, which
that was based on Tim Levin.
That is Sabrina the Teenage Witch.
It's nothing like the book. Yeah, the book is phenomenal. But the book, I mean, the movie doesn't do that book justice at all. And he had a novella adapted, and Nick Cage is actually in it. And I actually enjoyed the movie. It's called Pay the Ghost. I don't know if you guys.
I did see that. I did see.
Yeah, surprisingly, the movies. I haven't read the novella, but the movie was actually pretty good. I actually enjoyed that one. But yeah, Tim Levin, he's great. If you haven't read any of his stuff, definitely check it out.
Him and Brian Keane look like twins.
Kinda, yeah.
Tim's a little thinner. That's the difference. He's the twin that the umbilical cord choked them off a little bit.
Oh my God! Who do you have, Hunter?
All right, I'm not going to be on Brian's show now. So I'm going to finish with a book. Grady Hendrix, he of Paperbacks from Hell. So I know everyone was talking about this when it came out, and I just didn't get around to it. So I finally bought a copy of My Best Friend's Exorcism, which is just a killer title. I'm going to tell you, one of the blur. I mean, it's Mean Girls meets The Exorcist. I mean, you can't. That's the most succinct way.
Two of my favorite things.
That's so fetch.
It's so fetch.
By the way, Jason doesn't know Mean Girls.
Yeah,
never watched it.
He's a weirdo,
and he gets all pouty about it. Watch.
Yeah, really. You're missing something really good.
Yeah, special.
It's two girls in high school, Abby and Gretchen, who are best friends, and one night at a party when they're all them and their two other friends, they're like a little squad, and they're gonna drop some acid, and then one of them wanders off in the woods, and they lose her for a while, and she comes back, and she was kind of like, she wasn't the most popular girl in their group or whatever, and when she comes back, she, her personality is different, but they don't know really where she was, and it's a whole thing of her best friend getting fucking gaslighted at if gaslighting is your trigger, do not read this book, because they fuck her in every way possible as her friend who is potentially possessed sets about to ruin her life while she's trying to save her life. And the best part is is they go to this Catholic school, and they have like these freaking exorcist family who also does like gymnastics and weightlifting come to like a high school to do their little demonstration. She gets like one of the sons to help her with an exorcism. So at points it's screamingly funny. At other points it's really, as a person who like had daughters who were teenagers at one point and went through just freaking hell in high school, I was like, it was pissing me off. But it's a great book, man. Grady Hendrix is the man, and his podcast is great too. So, My Best Friend's Exorcism, I can't suggest that book enough. It is so good.
I need to get the paperback because I just love the cover.
The cover, because the cover, for those who are watching live, it looks like a VHS thing. So it's funny whenever when I took it home, like, why'd you buy a VHS tape?
Hold that up again.
So, and it looks,
it's almost got like that.
It says VHS.
It's kind of like the old novel artwork too, almost like a flowers in the attic.
Flowers.
It's so, I mean, and the back part like has pictures. It looks like it's a movie, like
wow, yeah.
That's pretty cool.
They do a great. All of his books, they do like this. Except I wish my publishers would do as much work on mine.
Radis New Yorkus had that on the back. Forget it.
Radis New Yorkus was a killer cover.
I I have a cover idea I want to do for one of my books. It looks like a VHS tape, but I'm starting to see more of these now, and I'm like, damn it, I waited too freaking long.
Yeah.
Do a DVD.
Adam Caesar's got that too. He's got
Yeah, he had a great
video
one.
night.
Yeah.
Video night.
Jack, you got anything else?
Oh, I got something else.
Oh boy.
This is why I love Amazon Prime. Hunter, I may age these guys out with this one, but there is a movie there's a generation of people out there who saw this movie and said, "Oh my God, that movie scared the hell out of me and it scarred me and whatever." Normies, horror fans, whatever. It's a made-for-TV horror movie from 1981 called Dark Knight of the Scarecrow.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I've heard of
Have
it.
you heard
I've
of
never
it?
watched it.
I've seen it.
Let me tell you a quick story about Jackie's.
Charles Durning in that?
Charles Durning. Damn it! That's what. First of all, when I saw him in it, I was like, "Oh, thank you, movie gods," because who loves a Charles Durning? Who likes talking about Charles Durning more than us two?
War hero. He's amazing.
The father from the
Rescue
Dennis
Me.
Leary, Rescue Me. Anyway, my history with this movie is this: my grandparents lived in the Bronx. I live in Connecticut. So when we were at their house on Sunday nights for like the big Italian dinner, inevitably, like either there was like the Wonderful World of Disney or the Hardy Boys or some movie was on that like me and my sister were like, we need to be home by like 7:00 to see this. And my parents inevitably would be like, nope, we're going to leave like just so you miss, like we're never going to leave early enough for you to catch your thing.
We
We're always
hate
gonna leave-
you, kids.
I mean, there's so many things. Dark Knight of the Scarecrow, we left. I saw like I'd say the first 20 minutes of this movie, and it was kind of boring to me. So I never really cared that I didn't see it. But then when I got older, and we're talking about these TV movies that like, oh, I saw that as a kid, or you know, everyone's so shaken up. So I saw it was on Prime. So over the weekend, I was like, I had to watch this. So I'd gone out to dinner on Friday night, and I got back late. I was like, tonight's the night. I'm going to pull the trigger because I knew I might not last the whole time. So I watched the first half. Then I went to bed, and I got up the next morning, and I had a cup of coffee, and I watched the rest of it. The first half of the movie is as slow as I remember it being. It's Larry Drake, who's the guy from L.A. Law. He was Benny on L.A. Law. And he was Durant from Darkman.
Oh, Dr. Giggles.
Dr. Giggles. So he's like this, like like intellectually disabled, special needs guy who's he's befriended this little girl in town, and the townsfolk, led by Charles Durning, hate him. And then the girl gets attacked by a dog, but when he shows up with her body, like she needs help, they think that he killed her. So they hunt him down. So his mother hides him in a cornfield dressed as a scarecrow, but they find him and they kill him while he's like up on the scarecrow thing. Then the rest of the movie is this sort of the mob who is Charles Durning and there's some people you'll recognize. Lane Smith is one of the guys in the group. So Lane Smith he was Perry White in Lois and Clark.
Oh,
the
wow.
TV show. So he's one of those guys that you see him, you're like, oh, this guy's been a character actor in a million things, but that's probably the thing you'd know him best from. So it turns into somebody is picking off, like they go to trial and they get off, so they've gotten away with murder essentially.
Murder.
And so the whole time the question, and so basically the Scarecrow is taking revenge for the death, but then the whole question is, was it the Scarecrow or is it somebody making it look like it's a supernatural thing? And I'll leave that to you, but I will say this: it's paced like a made-for-TV movie with no gore. And I was just as I was getting to the point where like, okay, whatever, I'm happy I'm watching this, but whatever. The ending, the last like 20 minutes of it is a lot of fun. So it was like, oh, there it is. Like, okay. So I had a really good time with it. So I'm very happy to say after all this time, 1981, I have finally seen all of Dark Knight of the Scarecrow.
Good for you. Put a feather in your cap there, buddy.
What did you think of the movie, Hunter?
I like that movie. It's in. There's like 7 copies in my library.
Really?
Yeah.
Why?
I don't know.
Weird.
It's a good movie. It's not that good.
I was like, 7
It's not worth
copies?
owning.
It's like 1 copy of Citizen Kane.
I'm
But
happy
whatever.
to have seen
It's
it.
also
I
not
never
worth
need to
owning.
watch it again.
Dark Knight of the Scarecrow is like watching the freaking Matrix compared to Citizen Kane.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Jesus.
I love
just
classic
watched-
movies. I
You know what?
fucking
You
hate
wear
that
your
movie.
ignorance on your sleeve. Good for you.
I just watched Citizen
Fucking
Kane.
sled.
I just watched Citizen Kane for the first time, and I will say this: if you put both DVDs on and said watch one of these again, I would watch Dark Knight of the Scarecrow again.
Goddamn right.
I gotta get the fuck out of here.
Movies.
And then I would watch Mean Girls. With
I
Amanda
watch
Seyfried.
Mean Girls over that.
Mean Girls is the best movie ever made, so that makes sense.
Mm,
All right, I'm gonna watch this goddamn thing you guys are talking
you have to.
Amanda
You have
Seyfried.
to, dude. It's
Fried seafood.
amazing. Amazing.
Rachel
All right,
McAdams.
I want to mention one last thing quickly. I watched a movie I just randomly found on Prime called Antrim, which I think was called Antrim, the deadliest film ever made.
Fucking
Oh, you
love this
watched that?
movie.
I'm
My
afraid
daughter
to watch
watched
it because
that.
it's like
I
cursed.
fucking love this movie.
Wow.
Oh, then forget it. I
Yeah.
don't want to watch it.
Yeah, it's terrible.
Have you seen The Dark Tower? It's kind of like that.
Oh,
And-
God.
Have you seen the Shining remake? The Mick Garrett's Shining.
God damn you guys.
so I like this quite a bit.
There it is.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Stephen King should blow you for buying that.
Somebody
He's off
should.
camera right now.
Thank you very much, Tim.
Sounds just like him.
Yeah, that was a great impersonation.
It's cemetery with an S.
So the movie starts off as like a mockumentary kind of thing about this lost film from the 70s that was shown, I think, once, and the movie theater it was being shown in burned down, and almost everybody died, and there are no copies of this film left, and it's a cursed film, and it's the scariest thing ever, blah 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 blah, right? So I'm like, okay, this is a cool setup. I like these kind of haunted film, haunted mirror, haunted painting stories. This is neat. And it gets into it, and it's supposed to look like a movie shot in the 70s. And for the most part, they pull it off. They've got, 70s filters on it and desaturated the color and all that shit. A couple times you can see the digital video quality, but not too bad. I thought the movie itself was pretty good. My biggest complaint, this isn't the complaint, but they had obviously a very low budget. There are almost no actors in it, but I want to say 2 of the 4 that show up later, they do a really good job doing disturbing shit. And it's pretty crazy. It's a sister and brother, their dog dies, and the brother is convinced the dog goes to hell. So the older sister takes the young boy out in the woods to this spot that's supposedly a portal to hell, and they start digging a hole to try to save the dog's soul. That's what it's about. It was pretty decent idea, actually. I kind of liked it.
You got to pay the toll to save that boy's hole.
This is, like I said, a super low budget movie. You're gonna, if you can appreciate that kind of thing, you're gonna like this. If not, like, I wouldn't say this is normie approved. It's going to be very slow. They're going to struggle with it, but I liked it. My only complaint is that this is supposed to be the scariest, craziest film ever, and it's been lost. And when you watch it, you're like, yeah, it was good, but it wasn't crazy shit. Like
my daughter watched it when she was done. I said, "How was it?" She goes, "That sucked."
I really like that movie. I don't think it was supposed to be really disturbing. I think it, like Jack said, it was supposed to be like a cursed movie. So I think that was the appeal of it. But yeah, it wasn't like super scary. It was freaky though and creepy at points. Like, I thought they did a good job with like the creep factor. And yeah, there's some crazy scenes, especially at the junkyard. There's like this one shot that was, I'm not going to repeat it because it's kind of like jarring when you first see it.
I'm like, what is he doing?
I rewound it. I was like, did I just see what I think I just saw? And yeah, I don't know. I really like that movie. I thought it was like a very under the radar gem of a movie for horror fans. Like, normies would not enjoy it at all. But yeah, I mean, it's definitely worth a watch, I think.
If I hadn't tracked down the copy of The Devil Rides Out that I got, that's what I was going to watch.
You should watch it, man. I think you might like it.
Wait, it's on Prime, right?
It is on Prime, yeah.
And for Sheridan, I like the ending. I like the ending a lot.
Whoa!
But you both watch it and survived, so it's not really cursed.
I mean, so far we're alive, but who knows what happens tomorrow?
Since my daughter watched it, her boyfriend's moving to New Haven, so really far away. So it feels like her life is over.
Yeah, you might want to be careful with my opinion this week. I watched this and 2 Ghoulies films, so
yeah, Jesus
The
Christ,
bar is low.
What a mess.
Anyone have anything else?
That's
no.
it.
All right, let's jump into the main feature.
You like scary movies?
Uh-huh.
What's your favorite scary movie?
I don't know.
You have to have a favorite. What comes to mind?
Jack, how about a lovely, lengthy description?
Please. Pause.
So there's this old lady.
Jesus Christ.
He's right. He's spot on. Let him go.
She lives alone. And she goes missing.
Hmm?
So her family
Her family.
has to find her. Where could she be? I don't know. She in the woods? She has dementia. So the girl from the newsroom and her daughter from Neon Demon. You didn't know that, did you?
No.
I
Daughter
did
was in
not
Neon
know
Demon.
that.
You didn't like
No.
Neon Demon. Hunter didn't like Neon Demon.
Oh, I did
Oh,
like it.
okay.
No, you didn't.
I thought it was a little self-serving and it was blowing itself.
That's
but
fair.
It was still pretty
That's
good.
fair. That's fair. So Keanu Reeves is the motel owner, though. Anyway, they go up there to check on mom and look for her.
God.
Can't find her. But the
Where's that
house,
accent coming from, it throw me off.
He's up in Maine right now.
the house is full of mold and water stains and noises and candles. And then the mother comes back, and essentially she's got dementia, but kind of like in a Babadook way, the dementia also has sort of a supernatural presence to it, if you will.
Mm.
So
There you go.
they wrestle with both the real life illness and the supernatural threat that comes along with it, if you will.
There
If
we
you
go.
will.
I will.
I will.
I did.
That went a lot of different directions. Like
Mm.
Vulcan.
That was
Sure
a,
did.
that was a
Relic.
journey. That,
And I kind of went to a
was
New
a
Yorker. New
Yeah.
Yorker. Yeah.
There was.
there were
a
so
little
many
bit of
things going on. Yeah, I'm confused.
Whatever.
That was.
everything.
Well, what did you think?
Here's the thing about this friggin' movie.
This is gonna be good.
This is not a fun movie.
No.
I'm going to stop the clowning around for a quick second. Alzheimer's and dementia has touched my life, my family. So as soon as I kind of figured out that that's what this movie was dealing with, I was like, oh, shit. It's like if you had a family member who got attacked by a shark and you're watching Jaws, it might not be your favorite movie in the world because you're like, oh. So I was sort of like, okay, and so I'm going to say that my quick 1,000-foot view is this is a very good movie. It's well made. It's not the most fun movie, and there's a lot of parallels I thought to the Babadook, and like it was taking the Babadook was like grief and personifying it in a supernatural presence, and I thought this was taking dementia and personifying it in a supernatural presence. So it did a good job of dealing with like issues that people really deal with, and putting a supernatural coating on it to make it entertaining. So my 1,000-foot view is this is a very well-made movie that is not a fun movie to watch. There you go.
Yeah, like Jack said, I've also been touched by Alzheimer's and dementia. It hits very close to home, and I think because of that, I understood the movie a little bit more. Like there was a lot of symbolism and like metaphors in there that I just saw. And from a filmmaking perspective, I thought it was like really well done. I thought like some of the choices and even in the script, I think it was really well written. I can't really say anything bad about it. It definitely didn't move in parts. Like it was very slow and but it was also not entertaining. That's probably the wrong word, but it definitely kept you invested in it. And I don't know. I enjoyed it, even though, like Jack said, it's not a fun movie. It's not something that that's gonna uplift you. It's definitely it sinks its teeth into you, and kind of brings you down a little bit, especially if you're familiar with the disease. And But I don't know. At the end of the day, like I really enjoyed it. I enjoyed the message, and yeah, without getting into spoilers, I won't say too much more about it. But yeah, I think it's a fantastic movie and definitely worth a watch.
Yeah, going to be a lot of spoiler discussion for this one.
Yeah.
Hunter.
All right. Well, I've been touched by mold, so I understand the mold issue very much so. Look, it's a first-time director. We got a lot of first-time directors this year that are just making movies that look so damn good and are getting great performances that you shouldn't your first time out. So this is carrying on in that tradition this year. Jake Gyllenhaal's the producer.
Yeah.
So as soon as I knew that, I'm like, oh, this is going to be fucking weird because I don't think he's operating on all cylinders. To tell you the truth,
He's definitely an artiste.
he is in his own
I
fucking
fucking
world.
love Gyllenhaal.
And, dude,
I love
him
his movies too, but he's a strange dude.
He's in his
which is his most redeeming quality.
I agree with both of you, and look, it's not a pleasant watch. However, it's a very heavy subject that is handled oddly beautifully. Like there's stuff that happens in the end. You're like, Jesus Christ, it's just gut wrenching. And like if you're currently dealing with this, this might be too much for you. Just like the last Mr. Mercedes, the last book when Hodges had pancreatic cancer. I couldn't read it. I bought it in hardcover and had to just give it away because my cousin was dying of pancreatic cancer at the same time. So sometimes, the timing is just wrong. So the timing might be wrong for somebody if you're dealing with this. But as far as a movie, it's a beautiful movie. It's got great performances. It is slow at times. Like my wife fell right to sleep literally 1 minute before everything started to go fucking haywire. So she has a very different view of this movie. Don't watch it if you're tired, by the way. Make sure you have a Red Bull.
I'd agree with that.
Sucker on. But just the craft that went into this and the performances and the way that this subject was handled, impressive.
I pretty much agree with you guys. I thought the pacing was extremely deliberate to the point where about halfway through, I'm like, there is not much to talk about that has happened in this so far. It's going to be a short episode.
Right.
But I thought the last act picked up so much and I enjoyed it so much that I've gone through differing emotions. I just watched this last night. And when it ended, I was like, what the fuck? What?
Yeah. What did I watch?
Yeah. Literally, I got up. I'm like, what the hell was that? And then I've been thinking about it all day, and I feel like I've got an understanding of it. So I was we talked about Mother earlier, mentioned Mother. I kind of got a little bit of the vibe of that from this movie. I got some Babadook. There's a lot of stuff going on in this. And it's like you said, it is beautifully shot and made. I am amazed this is a first-time director. It does not look like it at all. So I've actually come around from not understanding what the hell happened to I really enjoyed this. And it is absolutely not normie approved.
The director of this movie was on a podcast I listened to, The Witching Hour, and she is delightful. Like it actually made me like the movie. I liked the movie, and I liked it more after listening to her talk about it. She was
that's
great.
good.
Okay, cool. Because I've got some theories about what was going on towards the end. So I'm curious if she mentioned it.
She probably did. So we'll talk about it.
Okay, cool.
So that's I'm giving it a straight thumbs up.
For sure. But I'm not going to tell my mom to go watch this.
Hunter, you nailed it. For me, watching it just wasn't fun because, like I said, of the impact of it.
It's the fucking drag.
Yeah. So literally there was a part of me was like, I thought about not watching it and just taking this week off or bailing when we got to the movie. And I was like, let me check it out. And I'm glad I watched it because I think, Tim, you said something about this. It really does illustrate some things well that you're going through. And, particularly the ending, something happens when we get the spoilers that made me happy that I watched it. And I'll talk about it more. But if I was just to make no doubt about it, I think this is a very good movie. But I kept thinking Babadook when I was watching this, And I said, the difference I think between this and the Babadook is the Babadook was there was a little more fun to it because of the creature. The Babadook was just this more entertaining presence, whereas, and maybe dementia is just an ugly thing, and there wasn't the right time or place for it in this movie. So I'm not. It's not that I'm complaining about it, but I just I never really want to go back and watch the Babadook again because that's also kind of a depressing movie that was very well done.
Yeah.
But that friggin' creature in the Babadook is so memorable that there's no fun in this movie to be had. But if you watch The Thing or The American War from London, there's a lot of fun in those movies.
We watch horror movies to escape. This is drag you into shit you'd rather forget.
If you want to watch this kind of plot, but in a more entertaining horror package, check out The Taking of Deborah Logan.
Yeah, that's a great movie.
That's kind of really good point.
Similar stuff,
point,
but a more normie friendly kind of.
Yeah.
Thank you. You put into words way better than what I just said.
That was my wife. She mentioned that last night. I was like, oh yeah, there you go.
Yeah, good for her.
That's another underrated gem. That's such a fantastic movie.
Yeah. That's when I go back and I watch this one.
When I saw Deborah Logan, I hadn't been as affected by this as I am now.
Same.
And I thought that might be a part of it. But overall, that is a way more entertaining movie for a more fun movie.
See, I'd watch this again because of Emily Mortimer. For some reason,
she's great. She's a phenomenal actress.
Yeah.
Did you see The Newsroom?
I've watched parts of it, but I haven't watched it through its entirety. I've heard nothing but great things. It's one
She's
of
great in it.
It's one of those recommended things to watch.
It's one of those Aaron Sorkin things where you watch it and you go,
I love Aaron
why can't
Sorkin.
I talk like these people?
So articulate.
Yeah, fuck that. So Jack, are you going to bring out the bell, the spoiler bell?
I can bring out the bell. I happen to have a bell here.
While you're doing that, we should mention the director and one of the writers' names is Natalie Erica James. The other writer is Christian White. And throw some money their way, man. She knows what she's doing.
And we're going to talk about performances. The woman who plays the grandmother, oh my God.
Oh,
yeah.
She kills it.
I think everybody in it, the acting was phenomenal.
Yeah.
It was great.
Yep.
Top notch.
Okay, spoiler alert. We will now spoil the movie.
Who wants to take this?
Want me to jump to the part that I just alluded to?
Yeah.
So they go through this whole thing with this creature pursuing them. That's their grandmother or the thing that's afflicting their grandmother. And then they finally escape. And then the mother stops. She hears the grandmother call her. And she goes, no, I have to go back. And I swear to God, if I was going to cry, it was going to be that moment. Because that's when you're going through this, you're like, fuck, I don't want to go deal with this today. God damn it, that person loves me. I got to go back.
Right.
And that was the whole friggin' movie, the whole emotional roller coaster ride. When that moment happened, I said, there it is. That's
true.
This monster has been terrorizing me. But underneath it, I love that person. I got to go back.
I think even a step further, the scene where she's peeling the mom away and she's so all right. So getting a little bit personal, my grandfather had Alzheimer's really bad. And I watched my mom struggle with this for years. And it took my mom a long time for her to adjust to the disease. Whenever we'd go visit him, because we unfortunately had to put him in a home, but whenever we would go visit him, and he would start going off on his rants, and it's really weird. It's a really weird disease. It basically they almost time travel and they go back to, and they think they're in the past, and it's just a really weird thing. And in the beginning,
are often angry.
Yeah, and
So
they
you deal
get
with a lot of that.
They get frustrated, especially when you don't go with like what they're talking about, and that's what it took my mom like a long time to adjust to. Like even like the nurses and even us, were like you kind of just have to like go with their fantasies. Otherwise, they're gonna get confused, and then they're gonna get like angry, and then it's just gonna be like a mess for everyone. And it took her a long while to accept that. And so like that scene at the end when she's like peeling back like the layers of her and like she's like taking care of her, I was like this is such like a good like symbolic like scene for that, like the acceptance of the disease, and like how the family kind of like rallied around her and kind of accepted it for what it was. I thought it was like a beautifully done scene. Like I fucking love that scene. Like it just made the movie.
Yeah, I mean, that just the tenderness, and after all the fear and the running and the anger, and it was just the love there that you saw, and she's peeling away, revealing just this hideous thing underneath that's matching the house.
Yep,
that's falling apart and turning to mold at the same time. Yeah, it's worth the ride is worth it for that emotional gut punch at the very end.
Yeah, it definitely hit me in the gut for sure. But also because, like Jack said, like, we've experienced it like firsthand. So it's definitely probably worse for us. But I don't know. I really enjoyed it, even though it's not an enjoyable film. It's still like I was impressed by it.
Right.
So did you guys think anything supernatural was going on? Or was it all just allegory? It was all just...
I think it was all allegory.
So
I thought watching it that there was something supernatural, but when it ended, I was like, "Oh yeah, this was all allegory."
Yeah, so I thought there was something supernatural going on because I was watching a movie. So I said, "Oh, this is a supernatural manifestation of the disease." In my head, Jason, do you want me to tell you what the director said?
Yeah, actually,
I want to hear this.
I would love that. Yeah.
So yes, I'm paraphrasing this because I was like, listening to it while I was doing something, but essentially she said, yeah, that whole line of, is this, real or not? She said, I always intended that there is something supernatural going on.
Oh, okay. I did not.
It may not be made clear there. I think
the house within the house you can't get out of. It's crazy.
But I think she was like, yeah, we're making a horror movie. There's something supernatural going on here.
Interesting. Okay. Because as I was thinking about it all day, I was like, I just felt like the house deteriorating was like your body when you're old deteriorating. And
yeah,
all the supernatural stuff was her mind deteriorating. I thought it was just all allegory.
I mean,
it's just a straight movie.
I guess it could be both. Like, I mean, it could be both. It depends on just how you look at it. I mean, but if that was her intent to make it real, I mean, she did a good job of like weaving in that allegory in there.
By the way, the most terrifying thing was the story about the mentally handicapped kid next door.
Yeah,
I was playing hide and seek with her, and he hid in the closet, and she just locked the door. And
I kind of wish they elaborated on that, and like that was more of like a focal point of the movie, because like that was terrifying, that story, and I was like, oh, I kind of wish that would have played out a little bit better.
What I thought was happening was when the granddaughter got locked in the same closet, she was viewing things from the way he viewed things, being trapped in there. That's the way I looked at it, because I wasn't looking as the house was really endless and shrinking on her and stuff.
Yeah. So,
Jason, wait, you just said highlighted a comment we got in the chat. It said, it sounds like it made you all sad. Never seen the final guy sad before. I swear to God, when I was watching this, I said, clearly you guys have known me long enough. 95% of the things that come out of my mouth are sarcastic. And I'm watching this going, I am going to be so like such a downer on this episode because I don't have much funny to say about this movie.
Yeah,
that comment is exactly right. Yeah. I was like, yeah, no, I got nothing.
If you ever want to see Jack sad, watch him watching Mother.
Well, at least you got Jennifer Lawrence in that. So.
Yeah, true.
So that's the reason my parallel earlier was to Mother is just like I would never recommend Mother to just a normal, I'm going to watch Transformers moviegoer, because you can't watch it for just the narrative. If you don't understand what the point he's trying to make is, you're like, what the fuck is this movie?
Yep.
Yeah.
And I felt like at the end of this, with the molting of the grandmother and the creature and all that. I'm like, there's no way somebody who just wants to watch a narrative is going to watch this and understand what the fuck is going on.
Unless you're one of those people who likes peeling sunburned flesh and watching Dr. Pimple Popper, you're going to be orgasmic over this movie.
As all normies love to do, apparently.
There are plenty of normies who like that weird shit for whatever reason.
So point
But
being,
unlike Mother, they don't just like beat you over the head with a very obvious metaphor. This was subtle and layered and well executed.
I did
That is
not
true.
understand the mother metaphor while watching it. It
No?
wasn't until I had to look it up, and then I was like,
Jesus
"Oh,
Christ.
I thought I
I-
had this whole other thing in my head."
Me too. I had a totally different interpretation. I was like,
Really?
"Oh, that's not." I was
Really?
looking at the life of the artist, not the religious stuff.
Yeah, I
It's
wasn't getting
very
the
religious.
stuff.
I
Yeah.
was like, all right, we get it. We get it.
So, but just like that, where I'm not going to recommend most people watch that. Most of my friends who aren't hardcore into horror stuff, I don't know that I can recommend this, because if they do get it, they're going to be pissed at how depressed they are. And if they don't get it, they're going to be like, what the fuck was that shit at the end where she's pulling her skin off and laying on the bed?
Yeah.
So,
Or
And then
they
I love-
look. There's going to be horror fans that we're going to want more of that. Like, why wasn't that? Why did they wait to the end for all that creature? Like the Babadook shows the monster throughout
Yep.
the thing. Just like waited to the end for that whole reveal.
The part where the granddaughter sees the mother's skin with that little
Oh, the
spot.
black mark on the back. The
I mean, no,
hereditary.
yeah, this is going to happen to us all.
Yeah. I
One
thought
way or
that was
another.
like a or like a metaphor for like the genetics, because it is
So did I.
genetic. Yeah. So like it was like,
Right.
she's looking at her own future. Like she's gonna have to deal with this
Right.
someday.
Mm-hmm.
yeah, and I didn't understand until much later in the movie, or even maybe it was after the movie, all the scenes with the great grandfather in the cabin. I was like, what the hell is this shit? Like, what is going on here? And then,
Right.
oh, they put him there and left him by himself, basically, because he had it. I was like, oh,
That
that's
scene where it's
fucked
like he's a stain on the floor.
up. God damn.
I'm like, what the hell?
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah. Feel good movie of the year.
Yeah.
Definitely
Sure
feel
was.
good movie of the year.
I'm going to watch this every Saturday.
Never watching this movie again. But a
Yeah.
fantastic movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It
Very
should be-
well made.
Should be nominated for something. I
It will. Look at the things that win awards on all these circuits. It'll win
Yeah.
plenty.
Not the big
Yeah,
award.
I would recommend it to horror fans, but with the caveat of this is the sit down and be ready to be serious. This is not the popcorn movie for a Friday
Yeah.
night. This
You're
Yeah.
not cracking beers and watching this one.
Don't be a dick.
Well, you
this
can
is
still
not a
do
Joe
that.
Bob movie.
No.
No, but Humanoids from the Deep is. And I hope that God he puts it on there.
That would be amazing.
That would be a great Joe Bob movie.
That's a perfect Joe Bob movie.
I don't know how it hasn't been on there already.
Should be.
Is it on Shudder?
I think it is.
No.
Or Prime. It's on one of those.
Yeah.
It's definitely on Prime because I watched it.
It's not like
6
they
months
can't
ago.
get the rights for it. Let's be honest.
on in my house
That's
all
true.
the time.
That's true. Anyone have anything else to add before we get out of here?
Oof.
No.
I think we
That's all
hit
I
all.
got.
I think we hit all
Taps.
the important things. I'm
Damn good
depressed.
news.
I'm gonna drink more beer.
We started out really funny and alive, and now we all sound.
I just need to
done.
go. I need to turn this off and cry.
I need a hug.
I gotta pull out my pubes and cry.
Well, that
What-
sums this
what
movie
does
up.
that have to do with anything?
That's how I cry.
I
That's
need
how
a
you-
good.
That's how you deal with shit, by pulling out your pubic hair.
The only way I can make myself cry, I gotta pull my. pubes
I
out.
need a good Glenn Close naked crying in the shower from the Big Chills.
Don't forget to be
session.
bleeding out your ass.
On
I don't
that
think
note,
that was in the Big Chill. I don't know what Big Chill.
What
you're
movie was
watching.
that from? Yeah,
I don't know. I watch a lot of movies with people bleeding out their ass.
that's pretty weird, man. You should. Get
That's on
that,
one of those tubes.
you
One of
should
those
look
tube
into that.
I would
things.
think you wouldn't watch that because it strikes a little too close to home.
It's ulcerative colitis, the movie.
yeah,
Yeah.
Okay.
sure.
How did we get here?
I took us
Crimson
there.
Tide.
I was sick and tired of this fucking maudlin. We're sad stuff.
Oh,
We're gonna end this on
God.
a high note or
Every
or a
episode.
low
A
note.
low note.
So
By the
next
way,
week
I'm not
we're
here
doing-
next week, so you all gotta have
Party
to live without
time.
me. That's right. Do whatever
So
you want.
excited. We shit on you every time, and we know you don't listen because we
Yeah.
say things. and
By the
we
way-
say-
They did terrible things about you.
I do listen and I laugh. And I go, whatever. You guys all die before me. Fuck you.
That's actually probably true.
If I die before you, you will know whether there's an afterlife or not because I will haunt the hell out of you.
I hope you do, because I will ghostbust the fuck out of you.
so next week we're doing the beach house.
Much happier movie.
A Shudder original. Is it? Is
Yeah.
it much more?
Not really, but we'll
Okay.
say.
Oh,
I mean,
Jesus.
compared to this movie, anything's fucking happier. Bambi
Okay.
is happier. than this
Schindler's
movie.
List for an uplifting
Yeah.
movie.
All
next
right.
week.
The week I come back, we're doing Double Penetration Party Girls. Faux show.
Is that
Is
an
Again,
that
actual
the
movie?
Diana Prince film?
Part 6.
Is
That's
that,
the
a,
next one.
is that a legit movie?
part 6 is good.
Yeah, it's a movie my friend like
Made in
What-
his basement?
whenever like there's like a do go, hey, do you know that movie? You know that movie? It's the one with and they'll say like Robert Duvall. He'll just go Double Penetration Party Girls.
Yeah, that's really good on 4K.
It sure is.
Okay. See
Jason,
everyone
All right.
next week.
Bye.
Later,
Bye.
y'all.
Bye.